Hi everyone, my name is Sue and this is my trusted colleague Lindsay.
Hi.
And in light of lockdown, we understand that you're probably having difficulties accessing your local dog training classes. So we thought we might spend a few minutes today putting together some exercises to help inspire you to do some training at home whilst on lockdown. Yeah?
And you were so good until the last second. Now I want to kiss on it.
So, one of our top tips for dog training is to be consistent with your body language. Yes, we talk to our dogs, but a dog's primary source of communication is reading body language. So therefore they're going to respond to our physical cues much quicker and more accurately than they're going to respond to our verbal ones. Yeah. So by way of a demonstration, sit and wait. I'm going to put Reefa through her paces just on verbal cue. Down. Sit. Sit. Stand. So as you can see, she knows that I want something, she's not completely sure. Now I'm not going to say anything to her and I'm just going to give her body signals. So that's just a quick demonstration to say that we need to be consistent. There's no point in holding our hands up and asking our dog to lie down because our hand is saying sit. The same as if we do that and say sit, they're going to lie down. So it's just something to bear in mind when you're doing some training with your dog. So this is Jasper and he's a newly acquired rescue dog of a member of staff. She's only had him for about a week now. So we're going to introduce him to the concept of luring. He's an adult dog. So lots of positions are really easy to achieve with luring, but I just wanted to explain what that is to you. It's using food that the dog is able to lick and nibble at, as you can see. And the idea is that we lure him, he follows the treat into different positions. So if I lure his head up, he lays down.
So we've had a little look at luring and we've seen how tricky luring can be, especially if you've got a dog that doesn't really understand the concept or a dog that isn't that interested in food. Sometimes you have to work a little bit hard. Once you've obviously got your stand, your sit, good, and your down through luring, it's important to then try and get rid of that piece of food out of your hand. That's a really important step in training and one that a lot of people don't do soon enough. So once you can pretty much manoeuvre your dog into all positions all of the time with food in your hand, then it's within the same training session. So maybe you've done 3 repetitions of a lure, so you've moved your dog around with your food, then try without the food in your hand. So empty hand on the dog's nose, good. Once they've done the position, you can still mark and reinforce with food, but there's that slight delay, and that's a really important part of the dog's learning. Good. Good. So I'm using my good to tell her the behaviour that I want, and the food is coming later out of my other hand. You can then start introducing your verbal cue. So you always give that just before you give your visual signal, so the dog makes a connection between the two. So let me get 3 bits of treat. Stand. Good. Sit. Good. Down. Good. Good girl. Also, what you can start to do, obviously, is change the way you're positioned. So many of you might have started down on the floor if you've got very tiny puppies, small dogs, so you need to slowly be able to start to stand up. So you can start off by changing from kneeling to crouching. Can you do all the positions like this? And obviously, once you get to standing up, you need to be able to do the down cue without bending over. So the way to do this, obviously for down, we've been doing straight down to the floor. Good. But then can you sneak up your leg? Good. And what you will find is your dog, your dog will struggle at that point, good, to go past your hand. So wake them out. If you hold your hand, good girl, on your leg, it is less likely to wave about, and it's going to be very clear. But let them problem solve, let them figure it out. Some dogs find it very difficult to move past your hand, especially if you're actually still holding food at that point. You haven't quite moved off the lure. Good. And again, you can use your verbal cue here as well, pairing the two. Down. Good. Eventually, you'll just be able to point to the ground or give a hand signal like this, and your dog will go into position.